All right. Welcome to this fun little bonus podcast of the Books, Beards, Booze podcast. It's Halloween season. It's getting spooky up in here. Ooh. Yeah. Pretty sure this podcast will be haunted. Safe bet. This is one of the many services we offer y'all. But basically, because it's spooky season, we thought that we would take some time talking about our favorite spooky media. Be it books, be it movies, be it video games, whatever. Just talking spooky.
Which is going to be weird, because I hate spooky.
He's not a fan of spooky.
Not a horror dude. It's not my jam. Tonya? It's not your jam either.
Oh, she's all about the horrors.
Oh, she is?
The Hoors.
The Hoors?
The Hoors.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she's all about the Hoors. But she likes horror, too.
Okay.
Well, she doesn't like it. I think I'm the only real horror fan here.
So, I go to scary movies not because I like scary movies, but because I like the adrenaline.
Yeah.
I like being scared, but I don't want to be scared. I don't like scary stuff, but I like being scared.
Okay.
Y'all can't see the look I'm giving her right now.
I love being scared and hate being scared simultaneously.
Same.
Like, I love, like, Paranormal Activity. Like, there's so many times, like, people go into... I typically hate going to movies with people, just as a general rule.
Wow, harsh.
Well, you two get passes, because y'all know how to fucking act. But, but... So there's so many times I've gone to horror movies and people go in there like, oh, this isn't scary. And they're like the whole time, oh, that's funny. That's not scary. I go into these movies. I want to be scared. And I open myself up to it. I'm that guy in the fourth row that you think is a 7-year-old girl the whole movie. And then the lights come on and you realize, oh my God, that's a 33-year-old dude.
Or the guy that like...
jump scares
watches a zombie movie and then comes out of the...
Oh God! Yeah, I'll tell that story. Oh, you bet I'll tell that story. All right, so let's start it out. What is the first media, book or whatever that you can remember really scaring you? Let's start with Tonya.
Tales from the Crypt.
Okay.
So
I know I've seen it, but it's been so long.
I was a wee lass. Like, my dad would watch Tales from the Crypt in the living room, and it would be past my bedtime, and I would be sent to bed, but I would inchworm myself down the hallway and poke my head around the hall, and just like lay there and watch Tales from the Crypt, and he would finally go, "Get up here," and I would like go and like sit in his lap and we'd watch Tales from the Crypt with like scary skeleton guy.
Yeah.
They were great. Good memories.
And then she never slept again.
Right.
Yay!
The only episode of that I remember was them making soap out of fat.
Well, that's how soap's made.
But it was like something weird, something fucky. I can't remember.
They make it out of people fat. Well, they used to. Animal fat.
There.
Now, so was this the first thing I was scared by, or the first thing that was a scary thing?
First thing that you were scared by.
Because the first thing that scared me, like, that I remember was fucking E.T.
Really?
Oh,
E.T.
no, I can actually... That movie did scare me growing up.
I've never seen it. I did not finish it.
Really?
I was super young, and that scene with, like, the stuff on the stairs, and then you follow them, and then they just like, ah!
I just remember the scene with the swing.
With the swing, yeah.
Like the swing's just rocking. And
so dumb.
I've seen it, but I don't remember.
That was the end.
I know it wouldn't scare me now, but it was definitely a very creepy movie growing up.
I still remember the nightmares that it gave me. Like, it was not...
Apparently, Wizard of Oz scared me as a kid. I have no recollection of this.
Flying monkeys.
The monkeys, yeah. Mom said that apparently, I'm not this old, but apparently they brought Wizard of Oz back into the theaters when I was...
I thought... because you saw it when it first came out.
Get the fuck out. So, like, they apparently brought it back as that when I was a toddler, and then, like, I was under the seats crying as a kid. Like, who lets their child touch the floors in a movie theater, for one thing? Ew. But
you're probably still sticky from that.
Probably.
Ugh. For me, I don't quite actually remember having watched this. I don't remember the actual physical act of watching this, but the repercussions have echoed throughout my life. I watched the original black and white Night of the Living Dead when I was probably 4 or 5 years old. And it takes place in Butler County, Pennsylvania. I grew up in Butler County, Alabama. And to my 5-year-old brain, it really honed in on that Butler County part and ignored the state part. And I was convinced that wasn't a movie, that was a documentary, and it had happened near my house. And
you guys have a cemetery that's not too far down.
Yes, that we're currently about, I'd say, 500 yards from a cemetery.
Yeah.
It terrified me to the point that it gave me a lasting fear of zombies that lasted until I was probably 25. And like bad phobia. To tell a story I started to reference earlier, when I was a freshman in college, I was living on campus, hated my roommate. Well, I didn't hate him. I just hated being in the room with him. It's a weird thing. Like I had nothing really against him. We just were completely opposite people. And I spent as much time away as I could. Well, Dawn of the Dead comes out. And I'm like, you know what? This is stupid. Bob, you're fucking 19 years old and scared of zombies. What the fuck kind of sense does that make? What? Come the fuck on. Tighten the fuck up. So I went on a Tuesday night to see this movie by myself. Only person in the theater. It was the last showing. It was the latest movie. So when I got done, I was so terrified I couldn't leave the seat. I sat all the way through the trailer, or through the credits, which had Richard Cheese playing Down with the Sickness.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was just locked, white-knuckled onto that seat. And eventually the 2 employees came in like, dude, you've got to leave. We've got to clean up. Like, you're what's keeping us from going home. I got in the parking lot. It's my car and their car. That's it. I got to pulled out on the 231. I probably went 3 miles on this major fucking highway before I saw another car. I was fucking convinced that it had happened while I was in the theater. That was the movie that introduced fast zombies. Because they weren't fucking terrifying enough. I'm like, oh no, zombies can fucking run real fast.
They can move more than one step a night.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. Like, as a kid, I had to tell myself that zombies could only take one step a night and sunlight would kill them. And I also had to tell my parents every night, I will see you in the morning. Because if I didn't tell them that, then I would not live through the night. The zombies would get me. Yeah, I would fuck my world up.
That's really sad.
Yeah,
actually.
Funny thing, I went and saw this same movie in the same theater, and it was one of those where my friend Bud was like, hey, do you want to go see this movie? And I was like, yeah, I'll go to the movies, sure. Got in there. As I'm sitting down, I go, wait a second. I hate scary movies. Like, I didn't even make the connection. I was like, oh no, this was a mistake. This was not.
Yeah.
This was a bad idea. And it was a bad idea. I'm not a big fan of the scary movie. It's not my jam.
And what I've kind of figured out though, like growing older, like zombies isn't the real fear. Like I know that's what instigated it or whatnot, but I'm really I'm pretty phobic of pandemics. Like that. Like that's the kind of fear of pandemic keeps me up at night. On the rare occasion I'm up at night.
You're always up at night. What are you talking about? You work at night.
Well, no, I mean like if I can't fall asleep.
But it's funnier the way I said it.
True. All right. So, what is the scariest media
Event Horizon?
In your opinion, Event Horizon.
Event Horizon
really?
is one of the scariest movies of all time, and it scared me half to death.
Okay.
And then the movie itself, as if it wasn't fucking scary enough. After the goddamn movie, I leave the theater. My brother was sitting with his friends, standing behind the goddamn door, and jumped out at me, and I ran the entire way home. I screamed at the top of my lungs and ran from, let's see, how far? It was probably 300 yards home from the theater to where I lived.
Yeah.
I ran the whole way, all the way up the stairs, screaming the entire way.
Yeah.
My brother may have gotten in trouble for that.
Well,
a lot.
That seems excessive. He shouldn't have gotten in trouble. First off, Sam Neill, Cthulhu-like entities in space.
That's terrifying.
Should have been my favorite movie of all time. I fucked up and didn't watch it till I was, I think, 29. Mm-hmm. It's not a real good movie.
Yeah.
It's just not a good movie.
Still scary. Fuck you. It was on a list of the scariest movies of all time. So.
All right. Unpaid intern Tonya.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Never seen it.
We saw that together. Yeah, I remember you cried half that movie.
Sobbed in the theater.
Yeah,
it is the only movie that has brought me to sobbing tears.
From fear?
Yeah, like it fucked me. Like I'm out. Like I can't.
What did it?
Okay, so there's this mishmash of things happening at the time. Okay, are you aware of what the movie is? Like
vaguely,
they
yeah.
kind
I
of
know
get
the theory or like the
okay.
The
so
premise.
like these people will get fucking lost or whatever in these canyons, and there's like hill jacks that are mutant people or some fucking shit.
Hilljacks, is that what they're called?
Never heard
Well,
that
I've been
word
in
before.
Appalachia for a while. Hilljacks.
That's a great word.
That's a great word.
So
Yeah.
and so there's these mutant hilljack people.
Are you sure they're not called hill jocks?
Get off my A's and my O's. So there's this. They're like in a camper. I'm done. I'm walking off this podcast right now.
Are you sure it's not a pad cost?
Anyways,
Find yourself another unpaid intern.
Are you sure it's not an unpod?
anyway, continue. I don't. What?
This is a spooky podcast and people are gonna get murdered.
Spacky.
Just saying.
And then we're gonna
Real
hop this
spacky.
place.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you with this pin in your face. Oh god. Okay. So no, there's like a mishmash of things going on, and like there's I think like people are getting eaten at the time, and then there's this baby infant that something's happening to a baby at the same time, and also one of these creepy fucking hilljacks is like full on raping a girl at the same time. It's like all of that. Oh, I just sobbed.
Yeah, I felt real bad for like I kept sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
Instead of like leaving.
I don't know what happens in the rest of that movie.
Yeah.
Like I completely tuned out.
You're such a good boyfriend.
I was a fiance at that point.
Yeah.
Even better.
Ugh.
Yeah, no. The only movie that has brought me to sobbing tears. Emotional, sad movies, I can deal with that. Like, maybe a little trickle tear, but no. The Hills Have Eyes made me full on choking sob in a theater. It was terrible. Terrible.
For me, it was, and still is, Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, I remember when you.
That movie, I love found footage movies. They're my absolute favorite style of genre of horror movie. It sucks that so many of them are trash, but I just love that style. In fact, when I started making short movies, the first one we made was a found footage little horror movie.
Bridges?
Bridges.
That was good.
Yeah.
Watched it.
And so Paranormal Activity, Anthony saw it the night before and was so scared by it that when I went and saw it the next night, I went by myself because I'm sad and lonely. And I was so terrified, but luckily he had turned on we lived together at the time, he had turned on every light between the front door and my bedroom.
Oh.
So that I would not have to walk in the dark. Yeah.
Oh, that's brotherly love.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that movie's real fucking terrifying.
If I remember correctly, that freaked out Bane real bad too.
It freaked out Anthony real bad because it's a demon.
Yeah.
And Anthony, like, that's Anthony's big fear is demons. Like, he don't fuck with demon shit. Like, that shit freaks him the fuck out.
Creepypasta.
Oh, creepy. Yeah, we can talk about a little creepypasta.
Oh, I was just saying it.
Bob wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So Reddit has there's a subreddit called No Sleep. Are you familiar with it?
I wouldn't know. I'm banned from Reddit.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh.
I wouldn't know. But you can tell me all about it.
Yeah. There's a subreddit
Just
called...
make a new Reddit account.
Yeah. Figure out why you got banned the first time.
I think I just put my password in too many times or something. I don't know. I never made any posts. How am I banned? And I didn't make any posts.
Maybe they knew who you were.
Maybe.
Just like, oh,
Maybe.
fuck that.
Imposter.
They knew you didn't like Dune.
Yeah.
Preemptive bans.
Yeah.
Like, this bitch gonna come up here and be like, Dune's terrible. Let's ban her now.
Let's cut that
You know
shit
the
out.
owner of Reddit is married to Serena Williams?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah. So there's a subreddit called No Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
The idea behind it's creepypastas. People writing creepypastas, but it all has to be told first person.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone in the comments, you have to treat it as though it's real.
Okay.
Like, you're not allowed to be like, oh, that could never happen.
All right.
Like, you treat it as though it's real. It's a really cool subreddit. I'm not actually subscribed now. I will just
Are
occasionally
any of
go
them
there.
actually real? Or is it all fiction?
No, it's all fiction.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better.
But, I mean, I guess some of them could be real.
Just tell yourself they are.
If you want to read what I consider the best no sleep, well, first off, you go read my no sleep. But no, there's a guy named Bloodworth, Alex Bloodworth. He's written what are, in my opinion, the best no sleeps on there, and his are all kind of interconnected. Like a lot of them seem like completely standalone, but when you read the entire body of work of them together, you see how they're all connected, and it's amazing. It's fucking fucked up wiki wild magic. But I wrote a no sleep. It was actually the first thing I wrote as an adult when I seriously started taking writing seriously. It's called Disturbances on a Dead End Road, and you can still find it. It's not under my actual Reddit account. It's under my old Reddit account. But yeah, you should check it out.
It's probably been banned. But
no, I actually went and found it.
I meant that account.
Oh,
you know.
yeah, probably.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Because why not?
But no, I checked it out, and
life.
it's still on there. I may post a link to it because it's spooky season. But the cool thing about that story is, and here's something to think about when you ask, like, oh, were any of them real?
Yeah, because yours were kind of sort
yeah,
of real.
mine, 75 to 80% of mine is real.
Yeah, see, that's why I asked, because I read that story, and I've read your creepy Sarah Jessica Parker story that happens over here. Yeah. Those things are real. To a degree.
So, for those who are wondering, the creepy Sarah Jessica Parker, my house where we're actually recording this right now.
This window that I'm staring at actively right now.
Yeah.
Fully expecting at any moment to see a creature walk by or a head under this little thing back there.
We call it Sarah Jessica Parker because it's less scary with a silly name. But it's pretty creepy. There's some sort of creature that seems to be haunting the area around my house. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's great. Love staying in the guest room. Super creepy. The best.
Yeah. All right. So what else do we want to cover here? Have y'all read any scary books or scary? Oh, well, first off, did y'all read Goosebumps?
I've read some Goosebumps back.
I did read Goosebumps. I was a big fan of Are You Afraid of the Dark? As a kid?
I was going to say...
I had the Are You Afraid of the Dark board game.
Oh, okay, well, nerd.
I was going to say...
Okay. All right.
Where the money's at is the the ones with the creepy pictures.
Yes.
What
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I actually collect those.
Yeah, those things are oh my God.
The artwork is so terrifying. They issued
Absolutely
them.
Horrifying.
They changed all the artwork eventually because the artwork was so terrifying for kids.
Yeah.
But I collect the old versions. They actually...
Stop that.
It's a squirrel. That's what... Squirrel. No, but like, I keep seeing
keep
movement.
looking
I keep looking at the fucking window
movement
after...
out the window. Yeah, it's scary, okay? But it's a squirrel.
Okay.
We're fine.
Good.
It's not a deer person with haunting eyes and scratchy antlers across the side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Cloven hooves.
But yeah, I read a ton of Goosebumps.
I read a handful.
Fanatic.
Back then I didn't read anything but sports biographies.
Yeah. I had probably like 30 or 40 of them. Like, I fucking went all in on Goosebumps. I still have some now. I should dig some out.
Favorite media way to be scared? TV, movies, books?
Games.
Games?
Games are the best.
Movies. I really enjoy reading horror, but I've never read anything that was as scary as most movies.
I get that.
Games are the best because you are interacting with it.
What's the scariest game?
I wouldn't say it's the scariest because I don't play that very many of them because fuck that, I'm not a horror guy. But when Fear first came out, that scared the shit out of me. There was some scary stuff.
Fear Agent?
No, just Fear.
Oh.
The first person shooter.
I thought it was called Fear Agent.
Fear
Fear?
Fear Agent is the name of that comic book by Rick Remender and Jerome Pena.
That's right.
Anyways, but probably that, or I've seen some of the Five Nights at Freddy things.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And there's just no.
Those are creepy.
There's some real scary games out there.
I think the scariest one for me is what's the one? It's where you have the camera and you're taking a picture of the ghost.
Oh right.
I can't remember the name. Have you ever? You know what I'm talking about? All right. This video game is you are going into this it's a Japanese game. You go into this haunted house, and you don't have a weapon. All you have is a camera, but it's like a camera with like some runes on it, kind of deal. If memory serves, and so like these ghosts will be coming from you, and you have to take a picture of them to stop them from killing you.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's real. Fatal Frame. Yeah, it's real scary. I've never played any of the Silent Hill games, but I've heard that they're scary. I played some Resident Evils.
I've seen some Outlast. That was pretty creepy.
Yeah. Resident Evil's kind of scary. Some of them. They have some jump scares that got me.
Yeah. There's...
That's really
I remember before Fear Eating came out, it had a demo that Zacho had.
Yeah.
And he basically got Bud to play it because he knew it would terrify him, and we just sat behind him and watched him play the demo and jump scare the whole time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I do like a good jump scare. I especially like being the jump scare. Like watching a movie with someone and just like grabbing them in a quiet moment.
I'll just punch you. So.
There are so many movies out right now because it is spooky season.
It is spooky
that
season.
I would love to go see for $4.39 because I love a matinee.
Yeah.
I want you a matinee.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go to a matinee, but I don't.
We could have gone to Matt Day.
Yeah, we could have. We can go tomorrow. But
I'll be at work.
I hesitate to go with you because I know unless I sit like 6 seats away, and even then you'd still like go gadget arm me and.
Yeah. Well, don't go. You're watching a matinee. It's during the day.
I got you real good in
Hereditary.
Yeah, Hereditary. But I was thinking
me in fucking Winchester.
No, I was thinking of the silent one.
A Quiet Place.
The Quiet Place, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Ugh. That was a good movie building.
I'll say the movie that has lingered with me the most of any horror movie I've ever seen is fucking Hereditary. Because quick 20-second spoiler alert for the movie Hereditary. There's a scene in there where this girl is having like an asthma attack, like her throat's closing up, and she's like panicking, and her head goes out the window, and it hits a telephone pole while they're going like 60, and
straight decapitated.
Yeah, well, not even straight, like her tongue is left, like but everything from the tongue up is gone, and that's always been kind of like a low key fear of mine. Yeah. And the kid, it's her older brother driving. He just freaks out and just goes home, leaves the body in the backseat, goes to fucking bed. The mom wakes up the next morning, goes to get in the car, and just loses her shit.
So I want to change what the scariest thing that I've ever seen, and you're going to make fun of me for what I choose.
Well, always. Yeah. But yeah.
So it was Event Horizon. That was real bad. I've never gone back and watched that movie. I'm not going to ever. I've seen this one multiple times. However, the first time I watched it, you have to keep in mind where I was and what was happening at the time. Because my parents were out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My brother was not home. So I was home alone, living out here in the country.
Yeah.
By myself. At night. And I watched a Jeepers Creepers marathon.
Oh, those were good.
I actually have only seen part of the first one, I think.
That song is it made that song so creepy.
That shit.
Creepers.
Stop. Okay.
Did peepers. Boop, boop.
No, yeah, that shit scared me so bad that, legitimately for a couple years, my brother, if he was getting annoyed with me and wanted me to just leave him alone, he would start singing that. I'm like, quit it, dude. Fucking quit it, seriously. And he would not stop, and I would just be like, I'm out. I can't do this.
I get that.
I blocked that shit out. I did not remember that until just now.
So, a movie that maybe you watched as a kid that was scary, that's not supposed to be a scary movie. That scared
we already
you.
covered E.T.
E.T.?
I have
not E.T.
I have a weird... So here, this is not a movie, but it is tangentially related. I was terrified of my Teddy Ruxpin doll.
I was real scared of my brother's My Buddy doll, but that was because of Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Teddy Ruxpin doll scared me.
I ripped the jaw off my Teddy Ruxpin, so he would talk, but he had no mouth to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Movie that shouldn't be scary.
Gremlins for me, by the way.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
The first one or the second one?
The first one. Terrifying.
Tremors. scared me pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
Isn't that
Tremors.
supposed to be scary, though?
It's pretty funny, though. It's got a lot of humor to it.
Yeah, see, like, I don't think Gremlins is supposed to be a scary movie. Not for real,
Well,
for real.
Gremlins, the first one was supposed to be. The second one wasn't.
When there were those, like, Christmas?
Yeah, that was the second one. I think. Shit, now I'm not...
I don't
know.
I don't know.
It's all one big terrifying blur. Because they're...
Were they at the mall or were they at the home?
Houses.
Did Gizmo ever... Did he ever have
See, that's the thing, man. Is
Bone
what was
arrow?
so scary is, like, Gizmo was so cute and adorable.
I
And
had
then
a
he
Gizmo
just,
doll
like...
forever.
Those
He's the best.
pocket things just, like, pop off of him. And that was just
Terrifying.
gross
Yeah.
and scary fucking yuck to begin
Yeah.
with. And then they
Yeah.
turn to these, like, monsters. And I love to eat after midnight. And so it's like... it's like, oh no, am I going to be a gremlin?
Oh,
Like-
no.
I'm not
Better-
convinced that you're not.
Fair. Super fair.
I'm trying to think if there was anything that, like, really freaked me out when I was younger.
Ventriloquist dummies really scare the shit out of me. Porcelain dolls and
Oh,
ventriloquist dummies.
fuck. Neverending Story. The wolf thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. God, that movie's so good.
What was that
long,
thing's
long
name?
time since I've seen it. I know what you're talking about, but...
The Nothing was the bad.
The
thing.
nothing was
Yeah, that
just
was
a
the-
void.
Falcor was the
The-
horse.
Yeah.
No, Falcor was the dragon.
dragon.
That's what he's like, yeah, the dog.
Atreyu was the horse.
Um,
Because Artax was the guy?
God, didn't Lindsay name an animal?
Falcor.
I know Falcor, but I thought she named another animal
No, it was
after
just
the
Falcor.
wolf.
She had the cat. I don't know. You're on the...
you know, I'm trying to think.
Let me look at the internet while we're racking brains.
What was that thing's name?
But yeah, I really enjoyed that
I want to say it
movie.
begins with a G
Name of the wolf.
in Neverending Story. That was pretty scary. That's really all that comes to mind for me.
Gamork.
Gamork and Gamindy.
Womp womp.
What is the best horror movie of all time? And like what? And when I say that, it doesn't have to be your favorite. You just you think it is the best horror movie of all time, like
Poltergeist.
Okay. Tell you mine.
Yeah.
Alien. It's simultaneously the best horror movie and best sci-fi movie, probably. It's at least top 5 sci-fi movies. It's definitely the best horror movie of all time. God, so creepy. So creepy.
I know you said it doesn't have to be the one you like, but
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of horror movies like in my free time.
No.
The original Dawn of the Dead. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Like, that shit just fucking creeps me out. Like, it's so
Haven't seen
fucking
it.
creepy. It's great. The black and white one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really
Night
good.
of the Living Dead? Or
Yeah. Night of the Living Dead. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that movie's in the public domain?
Really?
Yeah. Roger Corman didn't file the copyright documentation properly.
Huh.
So that's why a lot of movies, if you see that they're watching something on the TV, they're watching that, and that's why. And I just learned that like a month or two ago, and every person I've talked about that to since has been like, yeah, duh, you didn't know that?
Oh,
it's
I
like,
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead. It just like...
You know, one of my favorites, I don't think it's the best or even the scariest, but the one movie that I would consider at least partially a horror movie, maybe it's not, but I think it is, that I actually really, really like was Signs.
That was really good.
I really liked Signs.
What is
the best part of that? He does really good horror, really. Like
M. Night
Signs is good.
Shyamalan Ding Dong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, his horror elements are always on point. Like, the movie itself may end up being kind of dumb.
I think that I've always said that whatever, he had a couple of them that I liked, a lot of them that I didn't, but I don't think you can argue that he's a really good cinematographer.
Yeah.
Like the way he shoots his movies and the way he chooses
I especially
to shoot them,
think of The Village.
which,
The Village was so visually appealing.
even though I thought
It was a trash movie. It had so much potential, but it was not good.
My whole thing was like, cool, that was a really long Twilight Zone episode. Thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't need...
And, like, I'm not always, like, the quickest person to figure out a twist, necessarily. But I literally, within 15 minutes of that movie, I leaned over to the person next to me and was like, they're in the modern day.
Yeah.
It's like, it was...
But, that said, Signs. Love Signs. Oh, man, I love Signs.
It was good. I'll say this.
It's my favorite of his movies.
I think he's returned to form. Because
I heard his most recent
all right,
one.
So
was that the Split?
Split was really good. It was really good.
Seen the trailer for the crossover?
Yeah, I'm super hyped for that. But what I was going to say is the two movies before that. The first one was called Devil, which was really good. He didn't direct that, but it was like his
elevator.
Yeah, like 5 people are trapped in an elevator. One of them's the devil. What I always said they should have done with that movie was
make a whole bunch of different endings.
Make 5 different endings where each of the 5 different people was the devil, and then release them to different areas and watch the squabbling. Like the Southeast gets...
People would have freaked out.
Oh, that'd have been amazing. That was an opportunity missed. Because it really... it could have been any of the 5. Like, it did an amazing job keeping you guessing.
Legal reasons you couldn't have done that?
No, I mean, they do alternate endings all the time. And he could have just released them on a DVD, like DVD special feature, like, here's all the endings. And then just say, like, well, canonically, this is the one that's canon. But he did... I really want to talk about this, and I hope people have not tuned us out and are still listening.
That's a little long.
Well, no, we're only at 30 minutes, and that's roughly what I was looking for.
Well, I have another thing I want to...
Oh, well, good. As long as we're under an hour, I'm happy.
Okay, cool.
But... Because this is a bonus episode.
The sun's just now going down. Like, I feel like we should have waited for it to be dark to do.
Bitch,
True.
He got to go to bed. He got to work tomorrow.
Oh, I'll tell you this: we could do a little bonus one where we tell our favorite scary story after this, but you actually tell the story.
I don't have a favorite scary story.
Well, we'll put a pin in that. Yeah. Anyway, so here's the coolest thing: The Visit. All right.
Ooh, is that the grandma one?
Yeah, where these 2 kids go to visit the grandma. Did you see it?
No,
that's not your grandma.
It was really good.
Yeah, it's like those aren't your grandparents.
Spoiler warning.
No, shut up.
Yeah.
No, here's the subtly best part of that movie. This part is amazing, and I never see anyone talk about this. So I hope someone who's seen the movie can commiserate with me and like, I noticed that too. That was fucking badass. All right, they're driving through town. It's the kids who are like in the back seat, or like one was up front with the granddad. They're driving into town, and they're playing a game where they make up stories about people that they see. And the girl makes up a story about like, oh, well, the cop, this, that, and the other. This cop, he's like hard to get up with because of this reason. Like he's having an emergency, so they can't get up. Like or something like I can't remember the specifics right now. Later in the movie, everything she said came true, but it's not like you don't think about it like that. It's not like, oh my god, everything she said came true. But it's like they go to call the cops, and like they can't. Like the cop is like.
Can't find him.
Yeah, for like it was something like that, but like it's everything that she said earlier while playing a game actually happens later on. So it's like she's fucking psychic, and that's the only like. There's no other reference to anything like that. It's just a subtle thing that I've never seen anyone else talk about. And watch. This will be the episode that blows the fuck up. We'll have 1 million fucking downloads,
and that didn't happen.
And it didn't happen. It'll be fucking Mandela affected.
Yeah.
And God, I never seen anyone talk about it. I also say, weirdly, the grandma had a really nice ass for being like 70.
Okay, so Sphere was a real scary movie.
Yes.
I haven't seen that, which is weird because I love Michael Crichton. I've read, I think, all Michael Crichton.
Just like how Sam Jackson's character is so empty. I don't know how to like. He's just
robotic.
It's just so.
I know I've seen it. And I know it was scary, but I don't remember.
Like is real scary, and there's like sucker octopus things, squids. That's the word.
Well, you're the expert on tentacles. So you should know that.
Out of your own house. But no, it was just like because they're in the sphere and they think all this stuff is happening, but it's not actually happening, or is it actually happening? Yeah. And then they come out of the water, but it's kind of one of those like.
Did they come?
Did this happen?
Yeah.
It's just kind of scary.
Have y'all seen Cloverfield?
I did.
I started watching it and
I
never
don't remember
finished
it.
it.
I liked
And
it.
it wasn't.
It was good.
It was like
I got sick as fuck watching it because
It's like shaky cam.
yeah, and I don't. I get
my
motion
problem
sick.
was that I was watching a pirated cop, like a
Yeah.
cam
Yeah,
of it, and it was already
you were
shot
watching
like
a cam
that.
of a cam.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm just gonna wait until it, and then I just have never.
Yeah.
Well, I say
remember
that
watching
to ask,
it.
have y'all seen 41 Cloverfield Lane?
That's one with
John Goodman.
Yeah,
Have you?
I saw
Yes.
it.
Good.
Yes, it was good.
I can't tell you anything about it. But
It's just really good, like psychological terror, like set in the same world and everything. But excuse me, really good psychological terror. And like I talking about Sphere made me think of that. Like they're locked in a bunker. It's John Goodman and two other people,
some girl,
a girl and a guy, like a younger girl and
It's
a
like
younger
supposed
guy.
to be his daughter or some shit. I think.
Uh,
Maybe? I don't know.
No, it's he found her, like the guy,
Because then he like kind of nutso, and she's
Yeah,
like, "I'm trying to keep you safe" or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
the younger guy is like his employee, and the woman is he found her
Oh gosh.
like unconscious, and he took her into the bunker as everything went to shit. Really good kind of psychological thriller. Really, really liked that. For me though, like I said, I really love found footage movies. Any found footage movie. Blair Witch. Yeah, I liked it. I know it got a lot of flack.
I don't know why. I thought
It was.
good.
I left in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, I didn't think it was scary when I was watching
I
it.
didn't
Then
watch it.
I went back to where I live in the middle of the country by
Yeah.
myself at night.
Oh, see, mine
and
wasn't
was
because
like,
it was scary or not scary. It was the theater was packed. The only seat was on the second row. And so I'm super close to the screen, and then that shaky cam, I was like, I'm going to literally hurl and I'm out.
No, it was good. I'll say this:
It did creep me out, though.
and I hate that I can't remember the name of this movie, but it was not one of the like A-list found footage movies. But the coolest thing I've ever seen in found footage, and maybe someone listening to this will be able to like comment what it was. But I watched it on Netflix. You okay? Swallow. God, learn to swallow your soda properly.
Bob just me too Tanya. So
She was yawning. We don't allow yawning on the podcast, so I stuck a finger in her mouth. So it's not as gross as it sounds. It's probably grosser.
yeah.
No. So the cool thing that this found footage movie did was it's these kids going to this like one of their parents has like a cabin up in the mountains kind of deal, and it's them just like filming their trip there. Well, on the way they're being followed by this car, and like it like rides their ass,
like wrong turn or some shit
No,
like that?
and then like cuts in front of them and like slams on brakes. It's like it's harassing them.
Ooh,
And so
wait a minute.
they end up stopping at a diner to like eat or something like that. Like that happens like a couple times. They're kind of freaked out. They stop at this diner and they see the car.
Yeah.
And like they run out there, hey, fuck you. Well, what it starts doing is it starts cutting. He's been filming the whole time too. So he's found footage of what they're doing, but then every so often it'll cut to the found footage of him showing it from his side. And like they eventually all make it up there to the cabin or whatnot. Like the power goes out, air quotes. And so it's like found footage of them like running through the house, like what the fuck. And then you see him like night vision camera stalking them through the house, like super creepy, like that scene in Silence of the Lambs when he's in the basement wearing the night vision goggles, like stalking Clarice, and like he touched, like it's like that. Oh, it's super good. What?
Nothing. I had a thought. I lost it.
Died of loneliness.
Yep. I don't like scary movies that scare me and then I'm scared.
Yeah. I love scary movies. I like getting scared.
Creepy things that are gonna... Something that happens in a movie that's always gonna fucking creep you out. Like, I'm always creeped out by porcelain dolls. I'm always creeped out by ventriloquist dummies. And I always hate that fucking crab walk.
Yeah,
where they're like...
that's what I was going to say. When they're walking, like if anything where they like walk on their like crab walk, or any person crawling on a wall or ceiling, anything like that, I'm
fucking out.
Hereditary, when she's like up in the corner of that room, just like perched up in the corner of the room.
There was so much fucky shit going on right then too, and I just can't. That's why when
Oh,
Was it The
road.
Grudge that had that girl?
The Grudge had the
And
going down the stairs.
You made that creepy fucking sound every night for like the longest time. It was the worst. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, that movie.
I forgot about it until just this
that
moment.
movie was really scary.
It was.
Yeah,
because she did
Sarah
the creepy,
Sarah Michelle Gellar. Is that- yeah,
creepy like downstairs.
yeah. She goes down the
crab walk.
stairs like head flipped around.
I can't think of anything. I'm just not good with loud noises. That's what I don't like about going to... Like, I don't mind going to see scary movies in theaters, but because it's so loud... Like, I can handle jump scares, I can handle just psychological stuff, but, like, the sound, the sudden loud sound will never not freak me out, and then I get angry afterwards.
Yeah.
So, one of the last movies we saw together was Amityville.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go see this. I didn't want to see a scary movie. And so the whole time I have my ears plugged and I'm humming Christmas music.
The last movie we saw together right as we were getting divorced was The Happening, which is possibly the worst movie ever made.
It was real bad.
It
That's
was
the one where
awful.
the trees are killing people?
Yep.
Yeah.
With through their
Pretty bad.
scent smells?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the
it was
worst.
terrible.
I feel like it put the perfect
Just
end point on our marriage. Like just watching that, I was like, "Yep, that's how this marriage ends." Watching The Happening,
Yeah.
like, yeah,
yeah.
oh
That
god,
just
that movie's so
happened.
awful.
But yeah, we saw Amityville. I think Bane was there.
That was a
I-
good movie.
Yeah.
The Amityville horror has always really interested me a lot.
Yeah.
And I'll say that is probably the. If I had to say the book that scared me the most is the original Amityville because of the Geordie the pig. When it would talk about like the pig like looking in the window like just seeing like red eyes looking through the window. Oh, that was creepy. Ugh. So creepy. I would like to reread that again.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's end here
Okay.
with
Yeah, it's getting a little long.
yeah, we're at like 40 minutes. So tell your favorite scary story. Or sorry, you just think on it, Derek, while I'll tell mine first. So I have always...
So are we talking about, like, real, like, things that happened to you?
It could be real or it can be fake or just whatever. Whatever works. Do we want to do real? I haven't had a lot of scary real stuff happen. Here's my favorite scary
I can't
story.
tell my favorite I was scared story. So.
Here's my favorite scary story. Taily Poe.
Yeah.
All right. So in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, there was a man. He had 2 dogs, and it was a hard winter, and he couldn't find any game, and he was starting to starve almost when he's out in the woods and he sees this shambling, clawed creature. It stood like as tall as him, like bear sized, but like looked more like a rat, and it had this long hairless tail. And he shot at it and shot its tail off, and the dogs immediately chased after it, but it ran away screaming. Well, he's starving, so he takes the tail home and he cooks it and eats it. Well, that night, as he's lying there in bed, he hears, "Taily Poe, Taily Poe, all I want's my Taily Poe." And he was scratching at the door. So he runs to the door, flings the door open, and he sees it there. These like yellow glowing eyes, and he sicks his dogs on it. The dogs chase it away. Well, the next morning, when he gets up, he only finds one of his dogs. He goes out looking. He finds the other dog dead with his tail missing. That night, same thing happens again. He hears the Taily Poe, Taily Poe, all I want's my Taily Poe. Runs to the door, sicks his dog on it. It runs. They both run. Next day, dog doesn't come back. So that night, he's laying in bed holding his rifle when he hears it. He hears that same Taily Poe, but only now it's coming from inside his house, inside his cabin. It's like, "Taily Poe, Taily Poe, all I want's my Taily Poe." And he yells out, "I don't have it!" He goes, "Yes, you do!" Yeah. So, yeah. That's That's my I think the second story I wrote as an adult, like when I was taking writing seriously, was I wrote a modern retelling of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called what the fuck did I call it? I can't want to say The Telltale Heart, but that's definitely Poe. Yeah. What you got? Scary story. He said, looking pointedly at unpaid intern Tonya.
Okay, so I live in the house that both of my grandparents died in, and my bedroom is my grandfather's bedroom. And so like he had to have surgery, and so they took him to surgery, and then he did like rehab because like to be able to walk and shit again. And so while he was gone, my mom's like, ooh, let's paint his room for him because it was like brown or some shit. Yeah. And so his favorite color was yellow, and they painted his room yellow, put the furniture back. Gramps never moved into this bedroom, like because of just reasons, like his hospital bed got moved into the living room kind of thing. No one really lived in that room. Well, Gramps dies at the house. I end up moving in, and I'm in Gramps' room. And so, you know, been living there maybe like 9 months, and I go to rearrange my room, and I move this large secretary. It's like floor to ceiling, takes up a good third, fourth of this wall. When I move it, there are handprints and footprints on the wall. Like fresh paint, but then there are handprints, and I didn't notice them until after I had rearranged and like moved my bed to where this big giant piece of furniture was, and these handprints and footprints are right at like above my bed. And the way the foot is, it's just real weird, and like no one was in this room between the time it was painted and when I was in there. The fuck did these handprints and footprints come from?
And then she was in her bathroom one day.
Then you decided to just stay.
Oh my god,
I don't know
no.
what that's all about.
Okay. So I'm in this other room, and it's my grandma's old bedroom. It's like right across the hall. It's my yoga room now, where I go to read and like just kind of chill out. And I'm sitting in this chase, and I start hearing shit in the walls. It's an old house.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a large mouse. Whatever. It starts happening simultaneously in all 3 of the 4 walls and the ceiling.
Just like this clattering.
Yeah, like shit scuttling in my walls at 3 of the 4 walls and my ceiling.
Yeah.
Right here.
Derek, it gets so much better. Just
Do
wait.
not go in the basement.
I don't have a basement that I know of.
Of. Exactly. Don't go in the basement. I said what I said.
Yeah. So
don't go deeper.
Like that weird
don't
shit happens, and then so we've got 5 acres of property. It's like cleared out where it's a little bit, and then there's like some wooded area, and then there's some people who live in the back farthest part. Mm-hmm. We don't have like good fencing. It's like just barbed wire fence kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, we have motion lights around the back of the house, and something was tapping on my window that's like against our back patio, and I thought that it was like my stepdad out there because he grills, and I thought he was like tapping on the window like, hey, come get some food. Mm-hmm. So I like got up and go downstairs to like around to the back patio, and both of my folks are just comfortably chilling in the chairs. Like they didn't just sit down there, they are settled in. I'm like, one of y'all tapping on my window? I'm like, nope.
And also the motion sensor light hadn't triggered.
Motion sensor light didn't trigger. Something was like tapping on my window.
Is this where you still live?
Yeah.
I still live here.
What is wrong with you?
Bro, wait. Okay, so there's a dog, big black shaggy dog, who comes up from the back of my yard, doesn't set off our motion sensor, but like is in my yard frequently, near the house, and like my girl dog, it's like she's at the door like, yeah, let's go play. So she wants to go play with
the demon dog.
Uncle Jack.
Yeah, I call it Uncle Jack.
He has built this whole mythos around Uncle Jack. But yeah, no, these are real things in my house.
Yeah. Super creepy.
Low-key kind of terrifying. I try not to think about it.
Yeah. You got anything, Derek? Anything to add?
The creepiest thing... Okay, well, one thing that happened to me, and then one that is still probably the thing that I think about the scariest like short thing.
Yeah.
You know how they have a whole bunch of those like 1 or 2 sentence stories or whatever.
Yeah.
The one where like the little girl hears her mom downstairs and calls her name, and she goes out to go to her, and the mom is upstairs and grabs her and pulls her into the room. Is like, I heard it too. Yeah. That is the most terrifying thing I've ever heard in my life.
All right, let me interject real quick.
People can lick too.
Yeah, that was what I thought. I got.
Oh man,
that one's creepy because I have critters.
Yeah.
So,
but I was gonna say, for those who don't know what EVP is, it's electronic voice phenomenon. It's people who say that they record ghosts. My favorite EVP story I've ever heard was these people, and I've heard the recording. The recording very clearly, you can hear something say, "Got the dog." That family's dog had gone missing that morning, and they never found it.
That's terrifying.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah, but the other one is a thing that happened to me, and look, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
But this is what happened, and I think I mentioned this to Bob, and Bob yelled at me like, "Why didn't you tell me it was a ghost story?" Anyways, so like, I'm on a couch. I'm like, I had to be under somewhere between 8 and 11, something like that, and I'm reading a scary book.
Yes.
Reading probably a Goosebump book.
Yeah.
And it was late. It was dark. I was the only person at home. And I was like on the couch at the very end, like propped up on the arm, like with an end table and a lamp, like right there for light, so that I could read like that. And I'm sitting there reading, and I'm reading this scary story, and reading it, and I'm like, this is fun, yay, reading books. And then, like, you know how the arm of the thing, and the end table, weren't like touching. Right. There was a gap between them. Right. I'm just reading, and then I just kind of glance to the side, and I see from like here up of a small child.
Get the fuck out!
From under my couch, what? And then head goes under. I screamed louder than I have ever screamed. And then I wasn't home by myself because my brother was home. Because he heard me screaming, came running in, and was like, what? And I was like, ah! And he was like,
yeah.
No.
And I wouldn't get off the couch, and I was like, get up!
Yeah, you don't fucking put your foot down, because whatever it is under the couch is going to get you.
Yeah. Well, see, that's one of those things, sleeping, you have to... I'm one of those people that like I have to. Yeah,
you got to be covered with the blankets because otherwise the demons are going to get you.
Yep, 100%.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and you were on the same way.
But I did finally.
He disagrees.
Yeah, the idea that this thing is parted the veil and whatever dimension
you don't
demons
understand
come
the secret
from,
powers of like teddy bears and
but
blankets.
A blanket stops them.
Yeah.
No,
his thing is like if it can't go through a blanket, then why can't it just go through the mattress?
It's like if it can go through a wall. It can go through your mattress. Even if it couldn't go through the blanket, it'll just go through the mattress.
These things have rules.
Well, some of us aren't heathens and we put sheets on our mattress.
Yeah.
I have sheets on my mattress.
Now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happened. That was a real thing.
That's
and I don't know if I just like saw it.
That is terrifying.
Yeah.
See, I've got a couple of things like that I poo-poo, and Bob's just like,
this motherfucker.
Yeah. Like I saw UFO.
Yeah. It's what happened basically. Like, I've always been that guy that's always believed in ghosts and stuff like that, and never really had any like real supernatural experiences. Not for real, like nothing that couldn't just be explained away. And so we had one night where a bunch of us were staying up cooking a hog, and like literally every person there proceeded to tell me a story of, oh, well, I saw a UFO, but I don't believe in UFOs, or, oh, yeah, I totally was haunted this one time, but I don't believe in ghosts. Like, every person there, like, told this creepy-ass fucking ghost story. But yeah, well, I don't believe in ghosts, but let me tell you about this time this fucking ghost gave me a hand job, you know? It's like, I don't believe in it, but I nutted. And I was just sitting, the whole night was basically just me sitting there like, I fucking hate all of my fucking friends.
It was hilarious because, like, it was one of those where, like, I told the only scary stories I had, then other people had more, and I was like, only thing I have left is, like, the time I saw a UFO, and then Bob's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
And, like, we'd known each other for years at this point.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're just telling me this now.
Yeah, we literally lived together for some years at this point. Motherfucker.
Good times.
I didn't know you wanted to know, Bob. You know, these things.
I fucking hate you.
I saw a UFO once.
Did you really?
Yeah. Lindsay and I did. Like,
I know this story.
We were at like some place of her dad's, and we had been stargazing for a while because I love stars. So we just been like chilling, looking at the stars for a while, and then all of a sudden, some star goes boop, splits, and like shink, like swoops away.
For the people listening at home, her hands moved around.
Well, yeah, okay. So there was 1 point, and then it split into 2 points, and then the 2 points kind of just swooped off in opposite directions. It's not like it was a plane, you know. It's not like I missed it in a casual glance. Like we had been stargazing for a hot minute, and then all of a sudden it just moved.
Yeah. Mine. I lived in New Mexico. And
of course.
And we lived in White Sands in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
And me and me and multiple friends were out playing basketball, and my friends, like, he had a lot for a backyard, and he had 2 basketball hoops set up so we could play full court basketball. And we played all day.
Can we just address the fact that so far you've told 2 stories, one of which involves you running like 300 yards, and the other is you playing full court basketball. And I think if you took both of us combined, we have collectively, through exercise, burned 7 calories in the past 5 years.
Well, you have to keep in mind that this was before I started reading. Before I started reading, the only thing
it's the book's fault.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, there are eras of Derek's life, and before Derek started reading, all he did, like, I didn't watch TV. All I did was play sports. That's all. That's all I did. Right. But so we were out there playing basketball, and then the sun went down, and we didn't have lights anymore, so we ended up just kind of sitting down, talking and stuff like that, and we're sitting there walking along the back lot, and we're looking at the stars, and have been for a long time because I like looking at the stars.
Yes,
and it was in a place on this base where it was super dark, and we're in the desert, so it's real clear visibility. It was real nice. So we were just chilling, and we were out there for like an hour, maybe longer, and then like I look away to say something, and then hear something, and look back, and we all saw it. It was like a crescent of fire coming down through the sky overhead. And I was like, whoa, a comet. That's super cool. And they were like, that wasn't a fucking comet. What the hell was that? And then we were like, huh?
UFOs.
Yeah.
It was an UFO.
I mean, like, I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was on fire, and it was like a crescent shape. And it just went, and then we were like, whoa, that was cool. Let's go see. Like, they'll say something about it on the news.
Yeah, no.
No one said anything about it, and there was no, like, no one said anything about, like, shooting star. Nobody said anything about, like, a falling anything. Yeah. Like, nobody said nothing. And we went to other friends who were like, were you outside? Did you see that? And they were like, no, what are you talking about? And there was, like, 6 of us, and it's like, it was one of those where we saw it, and then we kind of looked at each other like,
You saw that, right?
You saw that, right? And they're like, yeah, the thing? And I'm like, yeah, the thing.
I fucking hate y'all.
Yeah.
I'm ending this podcast because I'm angry.
His face is so salty.
Everyone gets to see spooky shit but me. God damn it.
You live in a haunted house, though.
Happy spooky season, y'all. I want to pout now.